Admire your brass neck. Go on with you before I change my mind. Go on.
Hey, it is a medical condition, you know. Poorly tootsies.
My name's Freddie Krueger.
Hi. See you, Freddie.
See you, Freddie.
Hi, Freddie. Not all disabilities are visible, you know. Hey, I'm the face of blisters, me.
There it's all now.
I should have told him you got dementia.
Why? I'm firing on all cylinders, me, today. Whoop, whoop.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 385 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that hoped when Becky was going to be introduced to soap, it would meant that she was going to have a wash. I'm Gavin.
And I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas.
And
I
etc.
wish you a Merry
etc.
Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
We just got back from a Christmas performance.
Can you tell?
One that ends in a sing-along.
Can you tell? This has been a topsy-turvy little night because we've already recorded, spoiler alert,
Yes.
with all the energy of two people at 5:30 at night.
Uh-huh.
Then we went to a Christmas concert,
Yep.
come back to do this, and I just want to go to my bed.
Aw. Then we have another Christmas parade tomorrow night. Very last one of her high school career.
Just say this about everything. This is her,
It's
her
true.
last. Yeah, but it reduces the impact of it.
Maybe for you.
Oh, this is her last December 5th, etc.
She will have other December 5ths.
Not at high school. She won't, Helen. This is her last December 5th as a high school senior.
Yeah. I'm talking about the last concerts, the last football game, the last...
Not that she plays football.
Prom.
I don't think she'd be very good at football. She may well get injured. Anyway, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm here. It's cold.
It's cold.
It's so freaking cold.
It was 2 this morning when I got up and left the house.
Yeah.
2, which I think is 15 or so below in new money.
In Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
15 below.
15 below
It was,
Celsius.
It was 2.
2.
And it had doubled in temperature by the time I'd got to work.
Well, that's good. That's something, isn't it?
Right.
Whereas I got up, went downstairs, got a cup of coffee, and went back to bed, and read some of Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and
You've been reading that for ages.
I just started yesterday. What are you talking about?
It's been at the side of the bed for, I'm going to say months.
Well, there's like 5 large stacks of books on my side of the bed.
It's shocking that you don't know. And it's shocking that I can't count that high.
I'm making a dent.
So at work, the Christmas decorations are out.
Uh-huh.
And part of the Christmas decorations are 2 polar bears.
Uh-huh.
One polar bear is standing up on his hind legs.
Uh-huh.
And he looks like he's maybe got his hand on his hips, but he's kind of his hands are kind of like that, round about his midriff. And then there's a other polar bear on all 4s.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you can find the right angle, it very much looks like there's some polar porn going on the grounds of my work.
Remember?
And it happens to be pretty much where I sit and look out.
Remember that year when they put the antlers on the deer's butt for some reason?
I don't remember that, but I remember the polar bears being in a similar position and they had to separate them because too many people were commenting about it. It's not difficult, people. Have one facing one way and have the other facing the other way.
Right, yeah. Butt to butt.
But that's not how they do it.
No.
They have the one that's standing up looking like he's standing right behind the one that's on all fours.
With hands for some reason.
Or paws, if you prefer. Do you prefer paws?
I'm just trying. It's like that weird commercial for one of the cable companies that has that dog that wears like a turtleneck. It's like a French bulldog or something, and it's got human hands, and it's just the creepiest thing in the world. And it's like, why did you do this? Why do you think this will work in making me switch my cable company?
Did you see the robots with the faces and heads of the world's greediest men?
Oh my God. I don't want to see those anymore. And it's not just that, because like one of them's Andy Warhol and one of them's Pablo Picasso.
I just saw Zuckerberg and
Zuck
Bezos.
and Bezos and Musk.
And
Musk is in there too.
They
shit pictures, yeah. Oh my God. I wish I had never seen it, and I've seen it like 5 times now.
What a world we live in. Well,
it's so freaking creepy.
Let's bring the preamble section to a close. If you want more of this nonsense, $2 a month. And I will ask you, Helen, as I always do, for the 385th time, I think.
What?
Shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes, please.
Give us some of that ho 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 Corrie news.
Alan Halsall has signed a new contract for his 28th year.
Wow.
On the cobbles. Hopefully this means the eventual return of his MSU t-shirt. Go Spartans.
No chance.
Go Spartans.
We'll have to send him another one.
I mean, I say go Spartans, but they haven't sent Stelly an acceptance letter yet, so boo Spartans. Boo.
We just pretend to care about college sport.
No, but
and colleges in general.
Right. And colleges children want to go to. Though I think that's like our third choice, so I guess it's fine.
Great point. Well made.
Thank you. And that's a wrap for Dee-Dee as Shanique Sterling Brown bids farewell to the cobbles, posting a picture with David Nielsen on Instagram saying, last time sharing the screen with the best of humans to know and work with.
Oh.
Which sounds very accurate for David Nielsen. Her final scenes will be right before Christmas. So we have less than a month of Dee-Dee left. And considering what the show put her through this current week, not a moment too soon.
Right.
What the hell, Corrie?
I'm going to miss her, but I'll help her pack.
Yeah. She can leave that orange and pink blazer behind, though. What was that?
It's a Shawaddy cast off. I am so warmed by the fact that David Nielsen is as lovely and genuine in real life as he seems to be.
Yes.
That's good news.
Yes. Is he still living in Spain? Is it Spain he lives in?
I don't know. He never returns my mail.
And finally, the show has shared a peek at a catastrophic car crash, which may be the focal point of the Corrie/Emmerdale crossover episode. So this is how we get people from both shows together. We have them crash into one another.
There are apparently other signs that there are crossovers. Debbie's wedding planner,
Uh-huh.
I think, is the Emmerdale wedding planner. Maybe. I don't know.
And there's wanted signs in the police station for characters from Emmerdale.
And the choir that Debbie wants, I think I'm maybe on them. I'm not sure.
No, the choir she wants is the one that she and
There was
Glinda
something
are
about the choir. There was something or somebody talking about a choir in Emmerdale, apparently.
Yeah. So maybe Debbie and Glinda's choir is
I
going to
don't know. I think if you watch both, then you're well entitled to be excited about this. But if you don't watch Emmerdale, it's very meh. Isn't it?
It's the floating gun all over again.
I think it's a little worse than that.
Nothing.
Because we're not going to know, and you're definitely not going to know who any of these characters are that are turning up and then just to disappear. But ITV are very excited about this, so let's not rain on their parade too much, I guess.
Sure.
And was that Corrie News?
And that's Corrie News.
That's Corrie News. Leading
Corrie
us like a beacon in the night to the feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic. Anne was quick to write in last week saying, called boring moment of the week whilst watching Friday's episode.
What was boring
I
moment
can't
of the week?
remember.
We could. It was hard to find one.
Was it Roy?
Yeah. Was it Roy? No. I can't remember. I can tell you what boring moment of the week is going to be this week.
It's right there on a spreadsheet on that computer that's 12 feet away.
Oh, well.
So close, Anne, yet so far away.
The world will never know.
And then Chris wrote in saying, nobody said London when Theo No Sleeves told them Todd was there. And then he attached a Hans Moleman gif. I was saying Boo Burns. Made me chuckle. And the cheeky writes, this week can only be boiled down to one phrase, trials and tribulations. The standout of the week was on Monday with Debbie speaking to the group of working women about her trials and tribulations with dementia and how she's doing everything that she can to conquer them. I was listening to the podcast from January and all we could talk about was how awful Daisy was and how dumb Daniel was and whether or not Kit was the father of Daisy's baby. And now Kit's a good guy. Daniel is still stupid. And the main storyline that annoys both is the one we were supposed to be the most happy with, involving Carla and Lisa. How the times have changed and how I can only hope that the show picks up and gets better from here, because what they did with Debbie this week showcases why the show was super strong a decade ago. Detailed characters with defining characteristics who all managed to care about each other in unique ways. I very much agree with that, Shiki. Thank you to Shiki,
Yes.
to Chris and to Anne for writing in this week.
Oh, it's only 3 people? Slow week.
Don't draw attention to that.
Everybody's busy getting ready for Christmas.
Feedback's always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I will probably read them out. Get us at thetalkofthestreet@gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. So we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interests of brevity. And now we'll podcast for coffee. We're drinking our own Christmas cocos this week.
Oh, no!
And I've left my peace tea over on the desk that's 12 feet away with that computer with the spreadsheet on it. Go gadget arms! There we go.
Oh,
That's not all the go gadgets we can do.
what a stretch.
I'm drinking peace tea now. Thanks.
Yeah. And I'm drinking pink grapefruit juice.
I do love the pink grapefruit juice.
Me too.
The Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on the YouTubes. But if you think our show is worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, and if you want to show your appreciation, or if you want more weekly and monthly content, here's your options. Sign up to be a friend of the podcast for as little as $2 a month. You can sign up at patreon.com/thetalkofthestreet, ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet, or you can hit the join button on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thetalkofthestreet podcast. Friends of the podcast get access to our weekly spoiler show, the Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and a weekly monthly classic Corrie show, the Talk of the Street Classics. And if that wasn't enough, you also get a shout out at the end of every podcast and your name on the credits of the flagship show. If you prefer something a little less formal, you can also buy us next week's coffee by going to ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet. And all the links can be found at linktree/Corrie Podcast. But remember, you can always support the podcast for free. Get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. Our December classics dropped on Monday, where we talk about episode 2790, which you may well know as Hilda Ogden's final episode.
Yes.
From Christmas 1987.
Yes.
It was a cracker.
It was a cracker.
A Christmas cracker.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Ho 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 ho.
Yeah, so if that tickles your fancy, you can check that out. Shall we dive in, my dear?
Yes, please.
Our first storyline this week is Sucks to be a Webster. On Monday, in Nina's roles, Debbie is practicing her speech for her women in business thing, and it starts very well.
It does.
Ladies, and well, aren't we glad there's no men here?
Gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she struggles to remember her lines and doesn't want to read from her tablet, as Carol suggests, but she finally agrees. and dingies his request to get into the business accounts again. He's so desperate to get into those business accounts.
Oh, he just will not let it go.
She promises to sort it later, which she eventually does. At the Rape Hotel, the women in business are Leanne, Glenda, Christina, Sally, Bernie, and Mary. Sally half expected to be asked to give a speech, given that she was the mayor of Weatherfield not so long ago.
She was the mayor of Weatherfield.
Debbie's speech starts well, but in her panic, she starts to use her tablet, but she ends up locking herself out of it,
I know.
which was horrible.
I hate that.
It went on for just long enough to become really, really uncomfortable. So she has to go for plan B, which is to talk about how her dementia diagnosis has tested her business skills to the limit and will test them further. She speaks from the heart, talks about the power of a good haircut, Sally nods approvingly, and how she adapts with her challenges that matter. Leanne looks sheepishly at the floor. She says that she has a job she loves, and she's getting married soon, so life is good, but it won't be forever, and she'll lose everything that she's built and everything that connects her to her loved ones. But not today. Not today.
Not today.
Well, not today.
No.
Today she is Debbie fucking Webster.
And
And
don't
who
you
wants a square goal?
Fucking forget it.
Rapturous applause from the audience. Later, Debbie and the ladies with speaking parts gather for that sounds really wrong. Gather for an afternoon of cocktails from Alfredo, the mixologist, who seems to like the look of Glenda. And
Yay!
Glenda, she likes the look of Alfredo.
Yes.
But later,
Who
Christina
doesn't like the look of Alfredo?
puts the kibosh.
It's the best sauce.
It's a good sauce. Do you like Alfredo sauce?
I do like Alfredo sauce.
I love Alfredo sauce. I
Yeah.
always think that you're a bit on it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't eat a lot of it. It's really heavy. And, okay, if I'm honest, vodka sauce is my favorite, but Alfredo's a close second.
Yeah, I know you like the vodka sauce.
I do like the vodka sauce. Minus the vodka.
Just sauce then. But later, Christina puts the kibosh on this potential relationship by privately telling Alfredo that Glenda is a former convict and her hairy armpits ricochet. So
Yeah, what the hell, Christina? What the hell?
I didn't think that the two of them had that much of a beef anymore.
No, me neither. And I mean, later on, she'll say, "Oh, it's just a joke," and they'll all laugh it off. And
No.
Glenda
Not all of them.
Glenda seems to be able to rekindle something with Alfredo a little bit, maybe.
No, I don't think she did. I think that was pretty much it. Soiled from then. Because Glenda's embarrassed later when she asks Alfredo out, and he knocks her back without even sniffing her armpits to check.
How dare he?
Glenda gets her revenge by dousing Christina in Prosecco,
That was hilarious.
to everyone's amusement. Meanwhile, Carla is up to some financial chicanery when Debbie announces to him that she's arranged the date for the wedding. It's in March, and she wants Carl to give her away along with Kev.
Yep.
She tells him that he means the world to her, and for a moment it looks like he's regretting what he's up to,
Yeah.
but it's only for a second.
Yeah. 'Cause
He's also unsure that Kev's going to go along with this plan.
he's an asshole.
And Debbie's like, well, of course you'll go along with this plan because it's my wedding.
Right.
We will see how that turns out. The women in business are now the drunk women in business, and on the walk back to Debbie's to continue the party, Debbie, her poor wee feet are all sore, so she climbs into a shopping trolley at Freshco, and Bernie takes the reins,
Yes, she does.
but accidentally pushes her into a police car.
Which is hilarious.
Their banter is far too powerful, as is the aroma of wetty dunders, and the cop is outnumbered, so they get away with it. Debbie has never felt so alive. And this scene with the group of them up against Freshco's wall, with Debbie still sitting in
In
that
the cart,
shopping trolley, and the policeman just completely out of his depth. No idea how to deal with this. There's far too many women, and they're far too drunk, and
Yeah.
none of this is going
He's
to go
like-
according to plan.
Right. He's like, you know what? Fuck this.
Yep. Fuck this. For a game of soldiers, this is way too much bother.
Yeah.
And there's so many great wee lines here.
There
I
is.
couldn't write them all down, but
I loved this so much. It reminded me, remember the very last time they ever went on a booze cruise?
they went on a booze cruise?
Yeah, remember it was
They
like
get on a cross-channel ferry.
it was like a booze cruise on a bus.
Oh, the 10,000th episode.
Yeah, the party bus. Where
Just to celebrate the demise of poor Dennis.
where everybody gets on the bus and they're drinking and you see characters interacting that you don't see interact very often and
Ladies
everybody's having
dancing.
fun and Evelyn is getting drunk.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. That's stuff I like. So this was right up my alley, the scene.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting this at all. I didn't know that this is where the storyline was going to go. We
No,
knew
me
that
neither.
she was going to be doing this
Speech.
this speech, and we weren't sure how it was going to go. She was going to either forget her speech or whatever. But she managed to rescue it so well. And from that, the boost that Debbie gets from delivering this speech that's well received is enormous. And really, for the rest of the episode, all that story was about these women hanging out and having fun.
Right, and supporting one
and
another.
telling jokes.
Except for Christina.
And it was, I don't know, I'm going to call it cheap storytelling, but in the most praiseworthy way I can possibly do that. Because really there's no furthering much of any storyline for the most part. It's just banter.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about what story you're trying to tell or where you're going to take this. It's just allow these characters to chat to each other and to have a laugh and to have fun and to wind each other up. And
we got to see the inside of Debbie and Ronnie's flat again, which made me happy because I love that painting of Debbie with the bubblegum.
yeah, well, we will get to that. So back at Debbie's, the banter and conversation and empowerment continues.
And drunkenness.
Sally continues to mention how she was mayor. And a toast to this band of exceptionally strong women.
So very
is made.
strong.
When everyone else leaves, it's Bernie that's left to tidy up when Debbie is passed out on the couch. And she finds Debbie's secret wee cupboard. And Debbie had warned her away from this cupboard earlier on.
Uh-huh.
So Bernie, I think, makes a beeline to find out what's in there. And when she opens it up, she finds that Debbie's got photos of everyone that she knows. And she's got little post-it notes up. And she's got scribbles on the photographs to say
this
who
is
they
your
are
brother.
and what their relationship
Yeah.
is and what their birthday is. Mm-hmm. And oofed.
Yeah.
I don't know that we knew that she was doing that. I'm sure she said that she was going to do something
Right.
like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Before she forgets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was really, really kind of a very quiet but powerful moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, we still don't know what is in Ken's hutch that freaked Maggie out a couple weeks ago, but you know.
It's like a month ago now. I don't know if they're ever going to mention it again. It's like the wee ghost.
It's going to be like that woman that Ken was supposed to have a relationship with 3 years ago that was in one episode and then never spoken of again.
Can't blame her. You really can't blame her. So yeah, so that was pretty much all that happened there. I felt like we needed this episode. And we needed this storyline in this episode because since the Driscolls arrived and since the Rovers was all busy and packed and everyone was having fun, and was that for Halloween? I think that was maybe for Halloween. So about a month ago, maybe a little bit more than a month. In fact, more than a month.
Yeah.
It's been fairly grim
Yeah.
for the intervening weeks.
Yeah.
And I felt like we've just needed something to lift spirits a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is what it took.
Yeah.
Debbie in a shopping trolley
Yeah.
saying that she's got sore feet-itis or whatever it was. With a completely perplexed copper
Yeah.
hanging around having no idea what to do. We've seen this copper before as well.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's arrested
Yeah.
a few people before.
It's a wee shame the rest of the week isn't this good.
I know. It could never be repeated because they do have stories to tell. But that was something a little bit special there. I really enjoyed that.
Yes. Me too.
All right, we'll move on to our next storyline. Again, just on Monday here, piecing Asha back together, Matt included. On Monday, despite being told not to make a big deal of Asha's return, Dev is making an enormous deal of Asha's return,
Yeah, he is.
panicking when her favourite furry blanket smells of shite or whatever, and when he can't find a scented candle that also smells of shite. So Asha comes home and manages to stomach Dev and his suggestion of her going back to work for about 2 minutes before stomping upstairs,
Yep.
sick of not being treated as normal as requested. Well done, Dev.
Well done indeed.
He seems almost proud that he pissed her off so quickly. He wasn't even 80% Dev either.
No.
He was fairly restrained.
Yeah. I mean, like when he was freaking out over the nibbles, I was like, oh, we're going to get full Dev, aren't we? And it never quite gets all the way.
No.
Because I feel like Asha kind of diffuses it pretty well.
By removing herself from the
Yes.
situation.
But it's just like, just calm down. This isn't what she needs. Calm down.
I like to find new bands that have very, very low monthly listens. That's how I found Housewife. It's how I found, or how Stella found Plum Vision and put me onto Plum Vision.
And Big Blouse. Not Big Blouse.
That wasn't how I discovered Big Girl's Blouse. That was through somebody on Pie and Bovril who told me about them.
Oh.
But I discovered a band
I like
called...
it, Big Girl's Blouse. That's my favorite.
I discovered a band called Calm Down, Sir. And I haven't listened to them yet.
Oh my
But I
God.
so hope that I'm going to love Calm Down, Sir.
Calm down. Is it a girl band?
I believe so. I think that's what they were called. It was something like that. Something, Sir. Is everybody going on to Spotify right now?
Yeah, everybody's looking at their Unwrapped.
I'm never on. I prefer Apple Music. I'm sorry.
I prefer Amazon Music. And I'm not sorry. You know what's the great thing about Amazon Music? Every CD you've ever bought from Amazon is on your Amazon Music for free. So, like, even if you don't subscribe to the
Oh, that is
streaming
good.
service, yeah, they're all in your library, which is pretty awesome. Do you know what my most frequently played song was of 2025?
No.
Our House by Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Oh dear. I think Calm Down, Sir might be the name of the song.
Oh no!
Yeah, it is.
What
The band's called High High. Which is good, but no Calm Down, Sir.
No, there needs to be a band called Calm Down, Sir.
I'd listen to it. Make it happen. Later, Dev is trying to do his Rubik Cube, but it's clear he has no idea what he's doing. When Asha comes downstairs, he apologises for his over-enthusiasm. She tells him that she doesn't know if she's ready to be a paramedic again, and she's sorry for all the upset she's caused and all the stress. And that's as far as we get with that.
Yes.
He,
Good for her for sticking up for herself, though, because Jesus.
See, he's jumped on what I felt like I jumped on last week when Summer fell over again.
Right.
And Asha was quick to react, quick to get some orange juice inside her, brings her back round. And I was like, oh, you can't take the paramedic out of Asha. It's in her blood now. She just loves to do this. But here, maybe she doesn't still. Maybe she is just helping out a friend.
Right, yeah. Or maybe, she takes those skills and does something else with it. Mm-hmm. Becomes a social worker or something. A school teacher.
Yeah.
Daycare provider.
She's so young, she's got all the time in the world to choose what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dev was always going to be like this.
Yeah, he was.
He can't stop himself.
Especially now that all he's got is Asha.
Yeah, and whose fault's that?
Dev's.
Mm-hmm. It was funny watching them try to do the Rubik Cube.
Yes, it was.
Was it 2 years ago that I decided that my New Year's resolution was to learn how to do the Rubik Cube? So New Year's Day I watched a video on how to do the Rubik Cube, and later on that day I could do the Rubik Cube.
Yeah.
So much for that New Year's resolution.
You're so cool.
This would be one of the things that I taught myself how to do to impress ladies. One other thing would be juggling.
Can you juggle?
Uh-huh. Not very well, but I can juggle with 3 things.
Yeah, I can juggle with 3 things.
Properly,
Yeah,
when you've always got one in the air.
yeah. I haven't done it in a long time, so it's quite possible that I've lost that skill. But I used to be able to juggle.
Yeah. You've got to practice at these things, and that's where it all falls down, really, isn't it?
Ha ha!
Boom. Ooh, a side. I still feel like she's come home far too quickly.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like she feels like she's come home far too quickly. That she only came home to appease Dev.
Well, and the staff at the facility told her that she was ready to go home. And she said, I don't feel like I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
And surely that's the key indicator on whether you're ready to come home and from a situation like this, is if you don't feel ready. And I understand that they can maybe say, well, you need a push, otherwise you're never going to be ready.
Right.
But she was there for a couple of weeks. And she
Yeah.
had a fairly decent chunk of trauma to deal with.
Yes.
So, and all she seemed to be doing was lying about at this facility.
That's what we saw her. That's what she is, you know. We don't ever see her like in group. or
No, and what a
speaking
shame that we
and,
didn't.
you know, some talking therapy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see whether or not she's medicated.
Great point.
And maybe we needed to see some of that. Maybe it would have been helpful
Maybe it
and
would have helped
realistic.
us understand why she gave a shit about Tinker being dead.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because
she
them being a similar age isn't enough.
and
I don't think they were that similar in age.
you know, seeing. I think I would be pretty messed up if I saw somebody I knew, you know, on the street all bloodied and dying, even if they weren't like my best friend, which is you. Even if it was like, I don't know, if it was Rob South
Poor Rob.
lying bloodied in the street after being beaten, I would care. I would care a lot, and that would probably traumatize me. And yet, I don't see Rob very often in real life as much as Asha probably saw Tinker.
Rob South. I saw Rob South in Family Fair a month ago.
Yes,
He's looking very well.
yes.
He was asking after you.
He's got a big
If
massive...
anything happens to him tonight, you're suspect number 1.
I don't know why I just pulled Rob out of my head. I think it's his billboard. Because our friend Rob South has his own billboard. Because he sells real estate.
Yep.
If you're ever looking for real estate in Eaton County, Michigan, call Rob South at Remax.
He's a Remax agent.
He is a Remax agent.
Rob, north, west, east, and south. He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
But this is all for the Rob South podcast. I must drag this back to Coronation Street. Yeah, I guess I'm being purposefully glib,
Yeah.
but
Just because you hate Tinker doesn't mean that, you know, everybody hates Tinker.
you never really saw Asha and Tinker together.
Yeah, but you can imagine that, they would be on similar calls where the
Yeah, I
police and the
suppose.
EMTs are. And they've probably been in the pub together. They've probably been, like, within one another's orbits.
I don't know, Helen, there's an awful lot of probablys going on here.
Again, I don't see Rob South every day. But if he was lying
Will you
bloody
leave
in
him
the
alone?
street, I'd be traumatized for life.
I think we better move on to the lonely grave of Rob South. No. The lonely grave of Tia Wardley. Sorry. Jeez. Do you know, I never thought 30 odd minutes ago when I hit record that we'd be spending so much time talking about Rob South. I don't think I've ever talked as much about him. On Monday, Betsy is shocked to learn that Carla has gone and asks Swain if it's for good. Swain says that she doesn't know. Becky comes in, supposedly worried.
And she's like, why? Why did she go?
Yeah, you've been here, right?
You've seen all of this, right?
Becky comes in from a coffee run. Don't worry, I haven't gone to Roy, she says. I was like, what, you're concerned now about people seeing you?
Only she's not really because of everything else that happens in this episode
Right.
or this week.
And I didn't go to Roy's, but I went somewhere.
Right, yeah.
Somewhere nearby.
I was on the street.
Ugh.
Ay.
She's supposedly worried that Carla has moved out because of her. Betsy thinks maybe Becky could speak to Carla, which is absolutely the very worst idea I've ever heard, even for this fucking idiot.
Ay.
Swain meets Carla in the pub later. Carla's going to see some flats tomorrow so she can get her stuff out soon, hopefully. Swain says that she loves her, but Carla says, it didn't look like that the other night when I saw you putting the tree up. Mm-hmm. And Swain doesn't have much of an argument about that, kind of ignores it, and
Yeah.
Carla just leaves her to it,
Just,
promising to be in touch.
skates over it.
Yeah.
Just completely. Not, oh, yeah, I can see where that would be a bad look.
Do you know what else was a bad look? The tinsel boa.
Yeah, it was.
That was arguably the worst part of it, was that you've got the tinsel round your neck, putting this tree up with your dead, not dead former wife. You can say that, oh, we're putting the tree up for Betsy.
Right.
But
It
the
wasn't
fact that
even
you've
there.
got, but the fact that you've got tinsel wrapped around your neck gives it very much a jaunty flavour
Right.
that maybe you shouldn't be aiming for if you're in the depths of despair. Honest to God, this fucking character, man.
I know.
Back home, Becky isn't even trying anymore and tries to get Betsy to talk Swain into going to Spain as a big happy family now that she and Carla are on the fritz. Betsy, though, thinks it's a temporary split, and it looks like she thinks Becky is mad for even suggesting it. And plus, she doesn't really want to get involved. She says this a number of times this week. I don't really want to get involved in this.
Shut up.
Managed to make Betsy even more annoying than she already was. So on Wednesday, at number 6, Becky's still sleeping on the couch, and Swain's actually going to go into work today. She tells
for her.
She tells Becky about the lead that they've got on a kid who was seen near the scene of Costello's assault. It's a guy called Darren, shortened to Daz, that they call Soap. Now, I've already explained to you the connection between Daz and Soap.
Right.
And I promised on spoiler alert that I would do the exact same thing again, but I can't remember what I said.
Yeah, the Daz was a kind of soap.
I'll give it about a zhuzh.
Still, though, to give a character the nickname Soap in a soap opera, it's either a little on the nose or
If his last name's Opera,
taking an inside joke a little too far. It's, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that Spike Lee movie that came out this year that had the actor who plays Mayhem in the commercials was a police officer in the movie, and then later on Denzel Washington and what's his name in the car make a joke about insurance with two guns. Like this is State Farm and this is Progressive or something. It's like,
you're losing me a little bit.
but it was like that where you're making a very like ha 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 joke.
I don't think it was that. I think it's just his name was Daz. And I thought, well, let's call him Soap then.
Well, why would you name a character Daz
But he's
in
Darren,
a soap opera?
so you call him Daz. Because
Why
people
would
called
you-
Darren get called Daz.
Why would you put a character named Darren and nickname him Daz and nickname him Soap in a soap opera? It's almost as bad as ITV Corrie.
I don't think so. I don't think it's as bad as that. Now that I know that his name was Daz, I can forgive it.
Well, I can't.
No further question.
I can't. Just like I can't forgive Spike Lee. I'm sorry, Spike Lee.
Now, here's the crux of a large part of my complaint about the storyline this week. Even if Swain doesn't believe Carla's suspicions that Becky was behind the attack on Costello, even if she doesn't believe it, it should be in her mind. And it should be at least a niggle. That every time she looks at Becky, she should think, Carla thinks that you
Or responsible.
assaulted
Yeah.
Costello, or you're responsible for that
Yeah.
happening. But she doesn't do that.
No.
It doesn't cause even the slightest niggle because
And it's not
throughout
just
this week,
Carla.
Swain doesn't have any problems at all telling Becky
sharing everything with
exactly what
Becky.
has happened.
Right, yeah. And it's not just Carla, it's Kit. Both of these two people who, I mean, she doesn't always get along with Kit, but I think they respect one another. There's a level of respect there.
That's temporary.
They get on each other's nerves, but they also kind of have one another's backs a little at this point.
On this they do, certainly.
So you've got Kit telling you to be suspicious of Becky, and you've got Carla telling you to be suspicious of Becky. That's two people. Mm-hmm. Two people.
That's most of the people involved in this storyline.
Right, yes. And I mean, didn't Costello tell her to be wary of Becky as well a little bit? Like, get her to go back to Spain because she's ruining your life sort of thing?
Everyone has been, apart from Betsy, is very anti-Becky.
Right.
Everyone.
Everyone.
And yet, Swain has no issues throughout this week of sharing every single detail that she and Kit come across.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Every time she finds them out, she's on the phone, picks up the phone. Oh, I must tell Becky about this.
Right, and it's ridiculous because we have seen Swain in other situations. We've seen Swain in other situations with other things where if Carla or Betsy asks her a question about an ongoing case, she's very quick to say, oh, you know I can't talk about that. Mm-hmm. You know I can't talk about that. So...
And even though Becky was in the police,
she's not now.
She isn't anymore.
No.
Oh, it ground my gears
So
all
much.
through this week.
So much.
Meanwhile, Carla's flat viewings have been cancelled because the properties have been snapped up already. Oh, pig's tits, says Roy.
It's too close to Christmas.
Yeah. So Becky goes to see Soap and gets Costello's phone from him. And she's quick to say, and the other phone,
Right.
I don't have time for this. Sure, you're a busy woman.
Yes. You're a busy woman trying to murder people.
But idiot Soap has had the phone on, which means it can be traced, which is confirmed when the sirens start to blare. Becky, in her stupid fucking jacket, and Soap split. But it sounds like Becky ordered Soap to kill Costello, and she threatens also to kill Soap if he doesn't hand over the phone.
Yes.
Swain is asleep on the job. Literally.
Literally.
Because she's been back for half a day. So Kit sends her home, revealing that the uniformed morons had their blues and twos on, so Soap got away. Back home, Becky's trying to guess Costello's passcode.
Oh my God.
And interestingly, that phone isn't attracting police attention, because I guess that must be the burner.
The one that Becky's on, yeah.
Yeah. Because for the longest time I was sitting watching that thinking, why is the police, are they only allowed one chance at this?
Right.
She's interrupted when Swain comes downstairs after a kip, and to update Becky that Soap got away and the hospital will be bringing Costello out of his induced coma today. Apropos of nothing.
Right.
So Becky hightails it to the hospital and tries to unlock the phone with Costello's unconscious face.
Which never works.
But to no avail, because he's got a tube coming out of his mouth and his eyes are closed.
Right, and it's at a wrong angle. You can't get the angle right.
So it looks like she's searching about the room for something to kill him with. And she closes the blinds.
Yeah.
Which is just such a red flag. She finds a packet with a syringe in it, and it looks like she's about to inject air into his bloodstream when Swain comes in, surprised to see Becky there, but not suspicious.
Right, yeah, surprised. As she should be, because Becky's supposed to be laying low because she's supposed to be dead. Mm-hmm. And supposedly these gangs are all after her. And yet she's in the hospital.
Which is where we saw her the first time, remember? She was in the hospital.
Right, yeah, when she bumped into Roy and said
Why
the weird
was she
thing.
there? Why was she there that time?
No idea.
We've never found that out.
No.
Becky reveals that Costello was her mentor, so she needed to come in and stare at him unconscious on the bed for a while. But then Costello starts to come round. Becky scampers before Costello's family turn up. In Devs, Carla bumps into Kit and he tells her about his suspicions of Becky and Costello. He tells her that she's dangerous and to watch out what she's saying to people because earlier she kind of gave a little hint to Betsy that she doesn't trust Becky as far as she could throw her. Kit's called to the hospital, but it turns out Costello's in no fit state to answer questions and may never be fully compos mentis again, says the nurse. Becky is frantically packing at home when she gets a call from Swain to tell her that Costello's awake but can't speak and it might be permanent. Kit's sitting right next to Swain on the hospital bench during this conversation and hears Becky suggest that this will set the investigation back. On the contrary though, because Kit has a tip-off of Soap's location and it's nowhere near Becky's face. Under questioning, Soap no comments his way through the interview but is coaxed into saying that Costello is no saint. So Kit goes back to number 6 with Swain and quizzes Becky on the possibility that Costello was bent, but then in comes Carla, who has decided to move back in until she can find a place to live, and she'll be sleeping in her room and Swain can bunk up with Betsy. Good night then.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
That was great.
Oh, I've just remembered, I also own this house.
Yeah.
Because when she comes in, Swain thinks that she's back to talk, or she's
Right.
back that the two of them can have a go at
Right.
sorting out the differences.
Yeah.
And Carla says that she's
No.
not interested in that at all.
No,
so
thank
Swain
you.
says, well, what are you doing here then?
I live
Oh,
here.
well, it's my fucking house. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Ay, ay, ay.
But this is a plan hatched by Carla and Kit, so she can be in the house, keeping an eye on Becky, and that they can link her to Costello and his dodgy dealings.
Why is Becky living there permanently now on the couch? Why
Seems
is
to
she?
be.
And when did that happen? I seem to remember Betsy saying, Mom's going to stay here now.
Yep. Yeah, that was then.
Right.
That's what.
But that was like, was that going to be permanent? Because it doesn't feel like it should be permanent.
Well, this was Carla's argument.
Right.
When is she leaving? Because you're not asking her this.
Right. Yeah.
And apparently, now Carla's left, she's still not asking it.
No.
So when Swain's talking to Carla about, we can talk about this,
Right.
while Becky's in that very room,
Yeah.
while the smell of her sleeping body is on the couch.
Right. I don't know, man.
So stupid. Oh, God. And the whole taking the syringe out of the packaging looking like she's going to... Does she know how to do that? Because I don't think it's just as easy as sticking it into
Well,
sticking it into their drip.
There's like a little like entry port. It's probably like a little entry port where they would put like medication and stuff in, especially since he's in an induced coma. And I feel like I would know how to do that. So
I don't
I
think
feel like
you would, and I don't think
Becky
she would
would
either.
know how to do that, just to like stick it in that little port and just push the air in. Yeah. So keep one eye open around me
I don't think
when you're in a
it's as
self-induced coma.
simple as that.
When you're in a self-induced coma, or not self-induced,
Medically
just
induced.
medically induced. Yeah.
I don't know if it's as straightforward as that. But anyway, the fact that this was on her mind, that this is what she was going to do.
Right.
And it was in the spoilers last week that she went, and it sounded like she'd taken the syringe with her.
Right. Yeah.
So when we see the scene and she's got a mobile phone, it's like, well, I don't know how you can misread mobile phone for syringe, but anyway, it was all explained.
Right. We got there in the end.
Oh God, I was like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? On Friday, Kit catches Carla up with the progress of finding Costello's phone and still thinks Becky's up to her neck in it. Becky's at the hospital again. Oh God, this was so terrible. This is all so terrible. She's talking to Costello's daughter, who doesn't know her from Adam.
Right. Yeah. Creepy as fuck.
And Becky's asking her obvious questions out the blue, like, what was Costello's first concert?
What was the name of his first pet?
What was his mother's maiden name? His first pet? Asks what her birthday is, which the daughter stupidly tells her. Kit arrives to break this up, thank God, and tells her to sling her hook before he gets back. But before she leaves, she's able to get the pin of Costello's tablet out of his daughter. Her thinking that she can use that on the phone. And sure
Ugh.
enough, later, Kit and Swain get news that Costello's phone is back online, but it's already been pawned by a kid in town. They do recover the phone though, so they try to get some answers from it. Becky, meanwhile, has the burner phone, and she discovers that there's no information about her on it. So what a absolute farce and a wild goose chase that was for nothing.
Seriously. But also, it's his burner phone. There's like a music app on there, apropos of nothing, which I thought was weird. It's like, why do you even have like these 4 apps on a burner phone? I would imagine.
It's got downtime.
I would imagine Becky would be under a different name than Becky on that burner phone. Like, asshole who won't go back to Spain. Thorn in my side.
Senor Shita?
The C word.
But that would just be lovely.
It would be lovely if she was under the C word in his phone.
Yeah, that would make my day. That would give this storyline the boost that it so desperately needs. Yeah, that's a great point. Costello's going to be stupid enough to refer to Becky as Becky
When she's supposed to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why is Costello getting messages from a dead person? That's weird.
called cunt. She rips out the SIM and drops it down the drain, putting the phone itself in the garbage. Kit gives Carla the bad news about the phone as far as he's concerned because there was no Becky data on it. Carla wonders about a burner phone possibility, but that's a bit of a dead end, isn't it?
Yes.
Back home, Swain tells Becky everything that's happened today about their dead end, about how they're pinning everything on the existence of a burner phone, about hoping that Costello's going to come round soon and be able to fill them in on everything. And that's as far as we get with that.
Oh. It's so bad. It's such...
I can't remember how long I spent in this storyline thinking that everything that Swain's doing is a ruse here because she doesn't trust Becky.
And yet...
And this is all an act to get as much information out of her as possible.
And yet...
And I don't think
that's the case anymore.
I don't think that's anywhere near the truth.
No. Oh my God. Because if it was, you would think that she would take Carla aside and say, "Hey, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine. I'm just pretending.
Mm-hmm. This is all a ruse.
This is police work."
That tinsel boa I had, that was me undercover. But no, this is... And it's making the job just far too easy for Becky as well because she doesn't have to do any work to get this information. She's half asleep on the couch when Swain comes in and hands over her notebook and says, "Fill your boots," basically.
It's ridiculous.
Does his involvement in all this make sense yet? It does seem... Let me just recap where I think we're at. He and Becky have been involved in Curtis's gang, trademark.
Yeah.
Or so we're led to believe, right?
Right, yeah.
And the two of them were in cahoots as they extorted money or somehow managed to get some cash out of this gang, or maybe they were actually the leaders of the gang all along.
Right, yes.
And then...
Only that doesn't work because Costello's first name isn't Curtis. It's Jerome.
It's Jerome. That's a good name.
Jerome Costello. It's so funny because in the credits he's still listed as D.I. Costello. But over his bed you could see Jerome. Jerome Costello.
He'll only get called Jerome if he becomes a permanent member of the cast. So he either killed Tia Wardley personally, or did he get Ant from Ant and Dec? It was Ant and Dec that got to do it, I think. That they got to kill
Tia Wardley. Yeah.
Then Becky flees to Spain, if you believe that she's ever been to Spain, which I'm
Right.
not sure that I do.
No.
And then what? Is that it?
I think that's it.
Because we thought that he was pulling strings on behalf of the police, but he's not.
He's not. No, they're playing their cards very tight to the chest. And it's infuriating, this whole oh, we woke Costello up, but his brain is still mush.
Right.
Which is realistic. It's realistic. Somebody coming out of any sort of coma, including a medically induced coma, you know, you're gonna be a little mushy, especially since, you know, your brain will start to rush to fill in the blanks. And sometimes the way that your brain fills in the blanks doesn't make sense logically to the people around you who have been awake this whole time.
I don't think it was at all realistic, though, that upon him waking up, or within moments of him waking up, the nurse says he may never get better.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That just had to be said so Swain can then tell Becky that.
Yeah. Which was
Oh, the
ridiculous.
hoops that were forcing these poor characters to jump through to make this work.
Jeez Louise.
And it still doesn't. I mean, the suspension of disbelief that Swain doesn't have just the slightest suspicion that Becky could be involved, and so maybe, like you say, holds her cards close to her chest. They've got to make her so stupid for this to work.
Yeah. Which is not believable at all.
No, I don't think so. All right, we'll move on. Little Free Roy, just a few scenes again, just another Monday in and out. Shona has come in to work at Nina's Rolls and notices Roy is off his game today. Keeps on getting orders wrong. He admits to being distracted but won't say why, so when he nips off for a shite, Shona decides to go through his mail under the pretense that she's worried about his health. Roy quickly finishes his shite and catches her in the act. How very dare you? He admits, though, that he's been corresponding with Alice. Alice? Who the fuck is Alice? It's the mother of a convict.
Is that also the name of someone from Emmerdale? I've seen speculation about this as well, that Roy's pen pal is someone from Emmerdale.
Well, let's have a look. Alice Emmerdale. There's an Alice Dingle who hasn't been seen on the show since 2006.
So, probably not her.
In fact, she might be dead. Oh no, is a fictional character. She's still with us.
Okay.
Oh God, she was married to Sam. Oh, is that who that is? Yeah. I'm not a fan of Sam. Sam's like the Emmerdale Kirk. So she's the mother of a convict, and her letters have suddenly gotten quite steamy, and she has revealed romantic undertones that have thrown them for six. Nina makes a face that says, "Knew it."
Yep.
Shona and Nina give Roy some love advice and help him write a letter back to Alice. And that's all that happens there.
Yeah. Nobody better tell Evelyn about any of this, or Alice is going to get a knuckle sandwich. See?
Well, it feels like he's rejecting these
Right.
this proposition, doesn't he?
He doesn't know how to handle it. And I think he's worried that he may have led her on in some way. You know, because he's Roy. And he worries about these things.
Well, they've been getting on. I presume they both like trains and bats.
Right, yes. And jigsaw puzzles.
If you need three things, then absolutely.
Yeah, it's the rules. It's the law of threes. You gotta have three.
I want to know the letters before it got steamy. I wonder what Roy said that gave that impression that was the thing that he was interested in, or was enough to give her the confidence to take a risk and imply some romantic endeavour. I wonder what led to this situation. I also wonder what Nina and Shona's advice was for Roy to write the letter. I would have liked to have seen the scenes where the two of them are dictating this letter to Roy. I think that would have been pretty amusing.
Yeah. That would have been hilarious.
We didn't
and
get any
yet
of that.
we don't get any of it. Again, it feels like we're setting something up for
Yes.
for Roy, and you know how obnoxious some of the like so and so thinks that this is the thing that's going to happen, and is Roy in peril from this letter writer? Dark days ahead for Roy when he gets a disturbing letter. Shut up.
Roy to leave the show following poison pen letter from...
Anthrax in Roy's letters?
I mean, why aren't we writing the show?
It's almost as bad as the Fizz gets mugged thing. I'm never gonna let the
Let
show
that go.
I'm never gonna let it go.
It's about time that Corrie did a hard-hitting,
Letter
reflecting
writing.
life anthrax threat storyline. But it turns out to be the New York thrash metal band all along. Roy very much likes the double bass
Now
drumming.
that's a very special episode that I want to see. Is when Anthrax shows up
Hi, I'm Scott Ian. I'm from Anthrax.
on Coronation Street
sausage bomb, please, Roy.
and plays a concert to save the clock tower or something.
It's a concert that's on that 6-inch plinth that they used for Paul's farewell rave.
Because remember, that used to happen all the time, especially on sitcoms, that just like a random famous person would just show up and like play a concert or something. Or like Scooby-Doo episodes with like the Harlem Globetrotters.
South Park have already done it when Korn were in a Scooby-Doo episode.
Right.
I think it's funny with Anthrax. And I think it's
I
funny
think
with Anthrax on Coronation Street.
Yes. That's something I would like to see. Remember when Snoop Dogg wanted to be on Coronation Street? Why hasn't that happened yet? The man said he wanted to be on Coronation Street. Why are you not putting him and Bob Dylan? Snoop Dogg and Bob Dylan in a very special episode of Coronation Street.
They couldn't get D to the O to the motherfucking G through the script editing process.
Hey, he's a grandpa now.
What is it, says Roy. It's caught in a mosh, says Scott Ian from Anthrax. All right, we'll move on to our Meet the Driscolls storyline. This is the one with Will and Megan in it.
The pedophilia
Yeah.
storyline.
On Wednesday, Ben and Eva are putting up a pink Christmas tree in the Rovers, much to the disappointment of Maggie because she's Irish. Eva Cakes
And
wants,
doesn't like pink.
Eva Cakes wants low level. Maggie wants Santa's grotto. Meanwhile, Will
Yeah.
is getting texts.
Eva wants jewel tones.
I don't know what that is, so forgive me for not writing that down. Will is getting texts from Megan, letting them know she's applied for a job at Weathy High. In the calf, Daniel spots Eva and asks for the skinny on Megan. Is she spoken for? Because he'd very much like to measure her up for a cardigan. Eva advises that he acts fast because somebody of Megan's quality is sure to be snapped up quickly.
Ugh.
Maria bursts in to shout at Eva about Liam and Will being friends, but Eva wants nothing to do with this. Both of the boys are old enough and they can choose their own friends. And they can choose their own friends.
Right, she says, after she's already told Will that Liam is never to darken their door again.
Maggie overhears this, reckoning that trouble follows Eva wherever she goes. Ahead of her interview, Megan and Daniel have lunch at the Rovers and Will is not fucking happy about this one little bit.
No, he's not.
Daniel asks Megan out, smooth as ever, while Will fizzes as he watches from the bar. Megan accepts the date proposal. Outside, Will is a grump, but Megan says that he's behaving like a child, but this thing with Daniel will keep the heat off of them until they can be a proper couple. He's still in a foul mood when he's hanging out with Liam, and the two of them square up to each other when Liam asks about his girlfriend in Canada. Maria is obviously on site to intervene, and she goes to the Rovers to shout at Eva about this, but Maggie steps in, calls Maria a stupid cow, suggests that Will and Liam will be mates before the day is out, and maybe she should just wind her fucking neck in.
The whole continuing this whole Eva wants things done one way in the pub, and Maggie wants them done another way in the pub is tiresome.
Yep.
It's very tiresome.
Already.
And, you know, you can tell it's annoying to Glinda because Eva's like, no, I don't want the silver garland. I want jewel tones. And so Glinda's trying to put the garland away, the silver garland away. And Maggie comes out, no, I want silver garland lining every single photograph in this establishment. And it's like, is this really furthering any sort of storyline or any sort of character development? Because we already know that this happens. Do we have to have like a full 10 minutes talking about showing more examples of Eva and Maggie not getting along?
Right.
And monster-in-law sort of thing.
Somebody needs to be the boss here.
Right. And it should be the person whose name is above the door.
Right.
Doesn't matter whose quiet money went in to pay for all of this. It's the person whose name's above the door.
Yeah. On Friday, it's Maggie's birthday, and she wants a big deal made of it.
It's not Maggie's birthday yet. They're just planning.
I've got a bag of shite for you, Maggie, and you're welcome to it. She'll be 65, just like the show. So I'm wondering if Eva's saying, you know, I don't know why you would celebrate 65. You'd celebrate 60 and you'd celebrate 70, but 65? Felt like a little... I mean, if you think that Daz being called soap is on the nose, you better fucking agree with me that 65 birthday complaints is a bit on the nose also.
Yeah. Although, I
No,
guess...
maybe not then.
I guess you get to a certain age, you celebrate every single birthday because every single one could be your last.
Well, the thing that confused me was 65 for the longest time was the retirement age.
Yes.
Don't think it is anymore, but 65 was the big... You get forced to retire.
Right, you get that gold watch.
Meanwhile, Megan is in school for her interview, and after Will pesters her, Daniel appears out of nowhere to pester her some more. Seemingly Crawshaw is in a good mood today, he tells her. He's always there on the spot with the gossip. Post-interview, she and Daniel go to the pub. He reveals that he'll be working with Megan if she gets a job. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, Daniel works there now.
What teacher job is she going for? To be an English teacher? She's a coach. She's a
PE teacher.
You would think. So
Yeah.
Daniel's already proved that he can't run. So how would they is he calling them working together because they work in the same school?
Yeah.
So not in the same department, teaching the same thing to the same
No, but
kids.
you're in the same building. You have the same teacher's lounge. You have the same like holiday parties and stuff. If you work in the same school, you're working together. You'll see one another in the hallways all the time.
Yeah, see, I work in a building that has 3,000 or 3,500 people in it.
Right.
I don't say that I work with them. I've got 70 people that are in the department I'm in that I see every day. I wouldn't say I work with them either.
No, but...
I see the 6 people that are in my team, and I say that I work with them.
Right. A school is different from a, multinational insurance company with thousands of people working there. A school has like less than 100 people working there.
That's why I started to talk about my department with 70 people in it.
Right. Yeah. So a school would be like your department.
But I don't say that I work with them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But in a school, when I worked in schools, I would say I work with the people that are in the school. Of course, that's
so
because...
you work with the physics teachers and the chemistry teachers and the math teachers.
Yeah.
Those are the people that you work with.
It was in elementary school, so we didn't have a physics teacher. But yeah, because I worked in the library and everybody comes to the library with their classes. So I am working with them that way. But then also we're all eating lunch together in the teacher's lounge because there's only one teacher's lounge. So that's where everybody goes to eat.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm convinced. I think if he's saying that they're going to work together, it sounds a bit more than we're going to work in the same building as each other.
Well, that's what it means here in this context.
She doesn't have to wait too long to get good news, and Daniel orders the champagne as Eva contrives a kiss under the mistletoe, which infuriates Will, who's looking very much like Simon today. He's glowering so much. And the hair doesn't help.
The hair doesn't help.
Doesn't help. Daniel,
You know what? I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about how... But now that you say it, now I see it.
Mm-hmm. And you see, it's frequent.
And it's hilarious because, like, as I was watching the show, I was like, who does he remind me of? And it's Simon.
Poor
Simon.
A good foot and a half taller, right enough. But Daniel encourages Megan back to his place, but she wisely decides to think about it and she nips off for a shite
For
first.
a game of Scrabble? Mm-hmm.
That's what he calls it.
Is Scrabble the new code word for sex cardigan?
She wants his hand. No, he wants her hand in his bag to pluck up some tiles.
Oh.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
No.
Outside, Will has a go at Megan about kissing Daniel, so Megan plays the maturity card again and tells him to stop behaving like a kid.
He is a kid.
She's doing all this for him. Post-shite, she tells Daniel that she wants to take things slow and so won't be going back to his place to play Scrabble this time. And he's like, fair enough.
Fair enough.
He's used to this. And that's as far as we get with that this week.
He does have a type, though. Short blondes.
Yeah. And she does look like Nikki.
She does a little. I think Nikki
This
had
story is so icky.
It is. It's gross. It's gross. And, you know, so many characters have been groomed on this show already. I don't feel like we need another one.
They have their own little support group.
Yeah.
They've got their own WhatsApp group.
Right, yes. The groomed of Weatherfield. You got Tim. You've got Bethany. You've got Lauren. And now you've got Will. Is there anybody else? Does Tracy count?
Shona was introduced as part of Nathan's gang, so
Was she?
she was included in all that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite the collection that's building up.
Yeah. Maybe we should just stop writing these storylines. Maybe it's time to retire the whole pedophilia thing.
I've got to feel sorry for...
There's enough of it in the news.
I've got to feel sorry for her, though. The actor.
Yeah.
We've got a big break for you.
Oh, and Addie. I forgot about Addie and Courtney Boobs.
We've got a break for you. You've got a gig on Coronation Street. You're going to play a paedophile.
Again? Why do I always keep getting typecast like this?
Why me?
Ugh.
Yeah, another one that you just will be so thankful when it's over.
Yeah, like most of the storylines
That are
currently going.
Right?
Oh, and it's December.
I want fun.
Yeah, it's the end of the year. It's Christmas time. Give me fun.
I'll give me the promise that there's going to be some fun next week.
Right. Something. Give me something.
Maybe we'll get it in the next storyline. I doubt it. Welcome to Dumpsville, population U. On Wednesday, Adina Rolls Ollie invited Dee-Dee to the Driscoll family Christmas and suggested that next year they could maybe be hosting both their families. Dee-Dee chokes on her coffee and suddenly becomes very interested in her phone. She goes to speed dial to get away from Ollie and to complain about him to Alia, but James comes in and ruins that. He's there to meet a client and shows her a photo of Layla with Santa. Dee-Dee's slightly pissed off that she wasn't there for this pivotal moment of her daughter's life, being terrified of a bearded man in a costume.
Yes.
Later, Ollie meets Dee-Dee in speed dial and wants to talk about Christmas again. Dee-Dee asks to drop it, but Ollie doesn't drop it, so Dee-Dee's had enough and dumps his creepy ass.
Yay!
When James catches wind of this, he's as surprised as anyone. Will, though, thinks bitches be crazy and accuses Dee-Dee of playing mind games. This is Will for you, thanks to the shite that's going on between him and Megan, and because he's pissed off at her, he's like, this is just women for you, says Will.
He's 15.
Right.
Shut up. But, you know.
He's being groomed and he's also a misogynist.
Right.
Great.
Yeah. And I just. Not one of Dee Dee's family members has her back. Not one of them.
Ed slightly, but not.
Not really.
But not, I wouldn't say predominantly.
No. For Dee-Dee to make a decision, and then for James to be like, "Oh, well, that's just Dee-Dee."
James sticking his nose in again where, what? This gets worse, because on Friday, Ollie meets Dee-Dee on the street and tells her well, first of all, on Wednesday, Dee-Dee also has a word with Ollie to say, you can stop telling members of my family
that I've dumped you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ollie is out to get stuff to make Maggie's cake, because apparently Ollie is a chef and a baker.
Yes, he's a chef, which is why he was so
critical of the food at
the bistro.
Yeah.
So on Friday, Ollie meets Dee-Dee on the street and tells her, and he had the sample menu.
Yeah, remember he was going to serve fish without chips.
Mm-hmm. Fish and... That's it.
Fish and fish.
Fish and a little bit more fish. Ollie meets Dee-Dee on the street and tells her
fish.
of his broken heart. Dee-Dee says, things just didn't work out, so quit behaving like you've never been dumped before, you creepy fuck. He looks to Dee-Dee's dad and brothers for some clues of why Dee-Dee might want to dump his creepy ass. James reckons you don't need to do much to get on Dee-Dee's wrong side, like kidnapping a teenager and forcing her to have your baby, that kind of deal. He thinks Ollie is deserving of an explanation and reckons there's something going on with her. It's a way to take your sister's side in this,
right?
By the way.
Yeah.
No, Ollie, this person that I barely know, he deserves an explanation.
Right, yes. And if you just keep at it, you just keep at it.
I got a baby out of her. That's how you do it. You just keep on nagging her. She gives in. Later, because he's never handled being rejected in a non-creepy manner, he complains to his granny about Dee-Dee.
Oh my God. Well, in fairness, she threatens Ollie into going in the back with her because Ollie gets mad that he's bought all of these supplies to make this apricot sponge cake for her birthday. And then she walks in and says, no, I want a chocolate cake with purple frosting and marzipan.
That's that bag of shite that I promised you.
Right, yes. And it's like, this should be enough for him to get angry and snap at you because he's already spent money on apricots.
Do you like a bit of apricot?
And they're not cheap apricots.
So despite promising to keep out of it, she tracks Dee-Dee down to speed dial to encourage her to take Ollie back. When Dee-Dee tells her to mind her own business, Maggie low-key threatens Dee-Dee. No one gets away with messing with my creepy grandson. Meanwhile, Ollie's in the bistro getting drinks with Dee-Dee's family. Ed insists that there's no bad feeling between them and thinks that he's a top bloke.
Right, yeah. See, this is not Ed supporting his daughter. This is Ed saying, you're too good for her.
Yeah, earlier on, though, he was accused of just having Princess Dee-Dee as his favourite.
Right, yeah, which is also not a great look here.
Ollie just wants to know what he did wrong.
You don't have to have done anything wrong. It's just run its course. Mm-hmm. And also, she's moving to Singapore.
Spoiler
alert.
Back at speed dial.
Be-doo.
Dee-Dee is able to tell Alia the real story here. She's got a job in Singapore. That's miles away, says Alia.
Right? Wasn't that a weird thing to say?
It was, and that's already become my geographical understatement of the week.
That's... You know what that reminds me of? Do you remember when Alia tasted the sauce? And she used a spoon, and then she put it on another spoon to taste the sauce?
No.
You don't remember this?
No.
We memed it. I took a picture of you doing the same thing.
I have no memory of this.
She was very weird with a spoon tasting sauce.
Alia was?
Yes.
In Coronation Street,
Yes.
Alia?
And it was like all the internet could talk about for 4 days. Was Alia's weird spoon usage. I can't believe you don't remember this.
I don't even have a vague memory of it. It's just not there. Alia, Corrie, spoon. Singapore, that's miles away. Alia doesn't miss a trick, says Rob Driscoll. Then it's me, if you didn't know. Sir Khan is pregnant, so whenever Alia has a scene, Corrie is using the careful placement of cushions, pillows, bags, and oh my god, Izzy to conceal the fact. Nothing about spoons. Oh, here we go. Love how Alia used the wooden spoon to transfer some of that pasta sauce onto a little teaspoon rather than just putting the teaspoon straight in there.
Yeah, October 5th, 2023.
Says Dan on October 2nd, 2023.
Yeah, October 5th, 2023. Metro
2
has
years ago?
Metro has an article called "Who Does This?" Coronation Street fans call out Alia's bizarre act while cooking. Which again, it's weird, but is it a bizarre act? And I don't think she was cooking. I think it was Hugh. Not Hugh.
Hugh?
Not Hugh.
Stew.
Stew. Hugh, Stu, and Lou, you know.
Stomeless Hugh.
I can't believe you forgot about the spoon.
It was only 2 years ago.
It was only 2 years ago.
No memory of it. I still can't remember it.
And I had a picture of you with the big spoon and the little spoon going.
That doesn't sound like something I would do. And you posted it?
Pretty sure I posted it, or maybe we thought, yeah, you know what, we're not going to post this. It's quite
Well, that
possible.
doesn't sound like us at all. No. I'll need to investigate this offline. Back at Speed Dial, Dee-Dee is able to tell her. Oh no, we got to that. Dee-Dee knows that and will be taking Layla there with her soon. Not a word to James, or Ollie, or Maggie, or Adam.
I know, she hasn't told Adam yet. That feels like a very unprofessional thing to do.
She's moving because the company in Singapore are offering her an awful lot of money.
Yep.
More than she could get in Europe. And she's going to be getting less hours, so she will be able to spend more time with her daughter.
Correct.
But she hasn't told James that she's intending on scramming with a kid that they're co-parenting.
Are they legally co-parenting?
No.
So, what's the problem then?
He has no leg to stand on whatsoever. This is purely a familial inconvenience.
Yeah. She doesn't need his permission.
No, but he's obviously going to be very upset about it.
Well, yes. Because she's already taken the baby back. Mm-hmm. No backsies.
But proposed this situation and then she's going to welch on that bit as well. This is all...
It's weird, man.
So very quickly manufactured to facilitate Shanique Stellan Brown's exit from the show, obviously.
Right, yeah. And it's so bizarre that they keep doing this. Oh, somebody doesn't want to be on the show anymore, so all of a sudden they're going to decide to move. It's Yasmin all over again. And Jenny. And Hugh. Stu. Which is hilarious, because Stu didn't have to go, because Yasmin left shortly after. He could have stayed.
No, he had needed to get to Germany.
Right, because of his granddaughter.
His awful granddaughter.
And her awful father. Poor Stu's daughter, who's just like sitting in prison and nobody to visit her anymore. I killed a woman for you.
Yeah, the visits have dried up considerably since that storyline was a thing. Yeah, so poor James is kind of getting abandoned here. I think the show's doing the right thing though by making Layla go.
Yeah,
if that's what they do.
Because I was curious about that. I was like, okay, Shanique is leaving. Is the baby leaving?
Yeah, it's one less child to worry about.
Right. Yes.
Storyline wise, just get rid of them.
2 less infants on the set.
Yeah, and this is part of the reason why I'm so surprised that Gemma and Chesney's quads have all survived. I thought for sure at least one of them was going to die.
No, they just made one deaf.
No.
They're all still Welsh, though.
Right. And born in midair. A hurried story to hurry along an exit. But I've quite enjoyed Ollie being so stupid about this. And saying, you know, I'm not going to be that creepy guy that's going to insist.
He can't help himself.
That's going to insist on dragging this all over the place. I'm just going to give you your time and you'll tell me what it was. And then when that doesn't happen, she's like, he's like, why are you dumping me? Why are you dumping me? I need to know why you're dumping me. This is why I'm dumping you. Because of this.
Yeah.
This is why it's happening. That's all you need to know.
And just all of the people saying to Ollie, oh, well, just keep bugging her. Mm-hmm. Eventually she'll give in. Like, no, don't tell him that.
I wonder what on earth Maggie's going to do.
That's not something you can do. Just nag someone until they give in. That's not a healthy relationship.
No. All right, talking of which, our final storyline is Theo No Sleeves. On Monday at the flat, Todd is meant to be meeting up with Summer, but Theo doesn't think that's a great idea given the big bruise and gash that Todd's got in his head. Todd, though, has learned of Summer's collapse and can lie about the scar like he's been lying to everybody else. Theo doesn't want people jumping to the wrong conclusions, and so decides that Todd is staying in, and he can say that he's off to London for a few days. Fucking hell, mutters Todd, but smiles when Theo asks if he said anything. Theo meets Summer in Nina's Rolls, and she's a bit put out that Todd has stood her up yet again, but
Right.
Theo makes a case for this fictitious trip to London. He glares at her like he's not jealous of this relationship. At the flat, turns out Todd is bored of pretending to be in London and ends up twitching the curtains, which is seen later by Summer.
Yes.
She tries the buzzer, but no answer, so reports back to Theo in the pub, where Gary and Ben are concerned that there's been a burglary. So Theo has to run home, call Todd a stupid twat, get him to hide in the room with his laptop, and fake the world's worst and most pointless burglary, reckoning that Summer's buzz must have been what scared them off.
Yeah.
And typical stupid day drinking Todd has left the door open again. That doesn't sound like Todd, says Summer. When everyone leaves, Theo reads Todd the riot act, angry about stuff that didn't happen, and storms off angrily to finish his fucking pint, leaving Todd alone in the dark in the flat. On Wednesday, Dev goes to the flat to check out the current situation after the break-in, and Todd walks out because he's got music blaring and they can't
Right,
hear
in the
anything.
shower, yeah.
I thought you were in London.
That's what I call my penis.
London? London! Todd says that he came back when they learned about the break-in and the bump on his head was a result of day drinking. Dev's curiosity seems satisfied, but he tells Todd to get his act together, eh? Todd suspects Theo is going to be mental about this, but he suggests that he's fine and makes Todd breakfast, but then insists that they go on a 10k run, and he gives him a lovely fitness watch. Todd's unsure but pretends to love it.
Right, yes.
And the watch has preloaded Lizzie's tramp tracker on it, so Theo's able to sit in his van watching Todd on a map. But Todd gets
Gross.
cramp, so Christina takes him to the undertaker's to recover him with a cuppa, and this makes Theo furious.
Why have you stopped running? Oh.
And the undertaker's Christina tells Todd that she's worried about him and says George is too and is lost without him. Todd insists everything is fine, but then hurries away before George gets back. Back home, Theo is still furious that Todd would go to the undertaker's, and he insists that George and Christina are master manipulators, and makes Todd promise that he'll stay clear of them from now on.
Every lie's a confession.
On Friday, Theo is doing stupid push-ups when Todd comes in, and he suggests that they get some exercise before breakfast this time. Some sexual exercise.
Oh, yeah.
This gives Todd an appetite, and he's got an interview for his stupid telesales job, so that's good. Theo is in the mood to treat Todd and presents him with a cycling machine. As they're bringing it in, Billy and Summer...
Just what I've always wanted.
Yeah. Billy and Summer appear around the corner wondering what's happened to Todd's face and not buying Theo's shit excuse for a second. Theo says that the two of them can handle the machine and get it upstairs, and they hurry Todd inside. Later, he's under orders to get his heart rate up to 160, but doing so completely fucks him on this bike. So when Danielle appears to tell him that she and the kids will be going to the Canaries for Christmas,
Tenerife.
Todd is furious on Theo's behalf. But when Theo comes back...
And we learned that Danielle also got an exercise bike from
Yes,
Theo.
isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I found that very interesting.
But she
and I
doesn't...
also loved the fact that she's like, yeah, he got me one of those too. I use it to dry my laundry.
That's what everybody uses exercise machinery for.
Right, yeah.
To hang stuff off.
Right.
But
It was like,
But she didn't get
was like,
she
wait.
wasn't triggered by it.
wait, do I like Danielle now?
Yeah. I can't help it.
It was hilarious the way she said it.
So Todd's expecting Theo to be furious about this, but he pretends that this is absolutely fine and they'll catch up with the kids when they get back. And Daniel's, of course, this is no fuss, no bother. Don't know what Todd's getting these knickers in a knot about. So Todd is left looking like a total prick. Later, Theo tells him it's not Todd's battle to get involved in this, and all he does is remind Theo of why his kids aren't with him. Todd thinks Theo has been deliberately cruel and has had about enough of this and goes for a bath. Later,
Which is funny because he just had a shower about 10 minutes ago.
Theo accuses Todd of taking a bath to punish him, and Todd, he can't cope with this
And
anymore.
it's like he was all sweaty from doing the 160 beats per minute.
He goes to leave, but Theo starts crying, calling it his fault and hitting himself. Rather than leave or call the police or join in,
Or, call an ambulance because he's having a mental health breakdown.
Todd comforts him. Don't leave me, says Theo. I don't know what I'd do. And after things calm, Todd asks Theo what he meant by that, but Theo doesn't want to talk about it anymore. When forced, he says he's mentally overwhelmed and Danielle has thrown him for a loop with the kids going to
Tenerife.
going to the Canaries, and everyone talking about them is too much. I don't know that anybody's talking about them. Todd heads off to get dinner and refuses Theo's company, and he ends up in the pub waiting on hot pots and gets talking to Billy and Summer again. Billy's very concerned about Todd, who says that he has a lot of things going on what we've been out of work, and Theo's got a lot of issues at the moment, but he doesn't go into any detail. Billy offers to speak to Theo about it, but Todd reckons maybe not. Outside, Billy gives Todd a friendly hug, and of course, this is seen by Theo. Later, back home, Theo doesn't mention any of this, but goes out to get wine. And now alone in the flat, this allows Todd, who's got some photos printed off to cheer the place up a bit, places them around the flat in frames to help hide the new security cameras that he's got. Interesting. So the picture frames are the cameras, I think, is how it's set up.
So it's like a nanny cam in a picture frame,
Right.
which is interesting. But
But it is
But
hoping that
yeah.
Theo is never going to pick one of those frames up to look at it.
Right. But also, this is just a sign that Todd isn't completely cowed.
No.
There's still a little bit of Todd left to kind of fight back.
But is this the first thing you do in this situation, or is it? What's the purpose of the camera? The camera is there to capture
To provide
the abuse.
Yeah, to capture the abuse and provide proof of what Theo was actually doing. Because, Theo is very quick to say, oh, no, I didn't smash you into the mirror. I didn't do this. I didn't say that.
But
Oh, you took that the wrong way. So if there's video evidence of the abuse, then Todd can say, no, actually, this is what you did.
I think where I'm coming from is, if the camera's there to capture more abuse needs to happen.
Right.
And that can be hopefully avoided by leaving the situation. I don't know, maybe this makes perfect sense if it's not entirely clear in Todd's head what's going on, that maybe he has been worn down to such a degree that he isn't sure whether Theo's telling the truth about these things or not, and maybe that's why he's wanting this evidence, or he's wanting this as evidence that can be then used to prosecute Theo.
I think there's so much gaslighting being done
Right.
by Theo that I think Todd just wants documentation, because Theo keeps twisting the words around and stuff. So, and it's Todd's flat too. He pays for it. And where else would he go?
Back to Eileen's.
Fair enough.
It was interesting that this was the thing that sparked this reaction from him,
Right.
was,
Theo self-abusing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the whole it admitted to kind of taking it out on Todd, to being mentally unwell. He was cautious in his language though, and it seemed, or it's difficult for me to try and fathom whether Theo was being genuine at any point during this, or whether this was all just said to get sympathy and to stop Todd from leaving.
I mean, it's all problematic, isn't it?
And it's hugely problematic, but is some of it at least true? And I think it is, but does Theo recognise that it's true? And I don't know that he does.
Yeah. And again, you know, we are skirting around the idea that if you're mentally ill, you're going to do something violent.
Mm-hmm.
And we're skirting around, you know, this whole conversion therapy storyline that we've just decided to give up on by killing that guy.
Right.
What's his name? Nick?
Noah.
No, not Nick. Noah. Yeah. We don't want to put any more effort into this side of the storyline. So we're just going to kill off the conversion therapy guy and make it all about Theo being abusive. And I mean, there is always some truth that hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be really careful with that. You know, because not all hurt people. And, you know, especially with somebody from a section of society who are there's already quite a lot of stigma still in society about.
This has been described as a pattern of abuse because we had the guy in the club from in the summer where he knew Theo and had been on the receiving end of this and is now in a healthy relationship,
right,
but seemed to be going through or has went through the same stuff that Todd's been going through.
Right.
And then there's also the suggestion that Danielle maybe has some experience this side of Theo, and I thought that was where they were going to go with the exercise machine.
Right.
But she's just happy to blow that completely
right.
off.
It kind of feels like maybe she's internalized an awful lot of this sort of thing because, you know, she's been brought up to think you just, you know, it's always your fault. It's never the man's fault. You just have to smile and make the best of things sort of thing. But I mean, it's frustrating because the way that Theo was kind of introduced in the early stage was that he recognized that he had sexual attraction to other men. But the implication was that he hadn't really acted upon that. That's kind of the impression that we were given in the beginning.
I think he more or less came out and said that.
But we've now had significant evidence to suggest that that's not the case, which makes Danielle and the kids' reactions even more confusing.
Right.
You know, if he's been, because when he was with the guy who was at the drag show, the guy at the drag show kind of implied that they had been more or less living together when this abuse was happening.
Right.
Which indicates that he has left Danielle before for another man, which makes all of this even more confusing about her reaction to this.
And the way that Theo went off with Gary's prospective work partner also suggested that Theo is no novice in this whatsoever. He went out with that, I can't remember his name. He went out with that guy to get him into bed and successfully did it. And I don't know, it just all suggests a lot more experience
than we were initially.
Exists that
right.
apparently wasn't there to start with.
Yeah.
Which, if that's deliberate, is an interesting suggestion of a complete double life that he's been living that Danielle was unaware of.
It doesn't, the math isn't mathing here. And it's just really a shame because it really feels like they've taken the most interesting aspect of this relationship, of this storyline, and decided, no, that's too hard. We're just going to do another coercive control storyline and make this man violent and manipulative and bad.
And they've fucked up his eyebrows something ridiculous.
And his hair. The whole thing is just...
Yeah, when he made that... And I added it to the other... There's one from him
That's
a couple of months ago, and his look has completely changed in the last few months.
And I mean, a part of that is interesting because I remember this kind of happened with Joel too. You know, the more evil Joel became, the more evil his face became. Yeah. And I don't know how they did it, but they did it. And it seems like they're doing the same thing with Theo, but it's just really disappointing because they could have done something really new and interesting and shine a light on something that most straight people don't think about.
Right.
Most straight people aren't aware of.
Or they're aware of it, but have no idea what it entails.
Right. And now it's just, something we've seen before.
Yeah.
We don't want to see it again.
Well, that was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, tell me, what was your moment of the week?
Ladies on a tear.
It's got to be...
Ladies holding up the wall at Fresco's.
Debbie in that fucking shopping cart was so funny. And she was there for the duration. That can't be comfortable.
No.
She's got a wee cushion under there, I'm sure.
She'd better.
But yeah, the ladies...
Ladies to lunch.
Ladies who lunch and prop up a wall and at Fresco's as they're getting questioned by the police. That's our...
Moment of the week.
Moment of the week.
Our boring moment of the week.
Daniel Scrabble.
He mentioned that a few times.
I know. It's like, do you want to come up and see
really wanted the game of Scrabble.
Do you want to come up and see my Scrabble board?
And shake my tiles. Maybe wear a cardigan. That's our
boring moment of the week.
Yes, it's given Scrabble a bad name.
Yes.
I can't really forgive him for that.
Yes.
It's been a while since Daniel's got a boring moment of the week. He's not been in the show much.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the show much. I think it's because sex cardigan has now become something of an international phenomenon, thanks to Wicked for Good, that they got to bring Daniel and his sex cardigan back to bump up the SEO.
This is striking while the iron's hot.
That's right.
Yay!
So we turn to Twitter at this point and ask our followers there what they thought of this week's episodes, and they rank it either yay, meh, or zzz. And the voting this week is zzz, 36%, meh, 30%, and yay, 34%. It's one of those more or less
pretty much
straight
even
down the middle, isn't
Yeah.
it? Holly writes, it's a yay, and fully on the strength of Monday's day drinking scenes with
Yeah.
Debbie and the gang.
Yeah.
Genuinely laugh out loud stuff. The rest, not so much.
Right.
I absolutely agree with that, Holly.
100%.
Thank you very much. But we don't let Holly's views or the views of the voting several to influence our scores. Helen, what are you giving this week's episodes out of 10?
6.
6?
Yeah. And again, those 6 points are all for Debbie and the ladies.
Fair enough. I think I'll give it so much to get annoyed about.
I know.
But maybe you're right. Maybe not getting annoyed about it's the way to go. I'm going to give it 5.5.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going up a point and you've gone up 2 since last week.
Yeah. This was a better week than last
It was
week.
good because it did have something going for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, this week's episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast, Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Jackie B, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Stephen, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine Otingi, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge, Pamela, Marge JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry in LA, Joe T, Corrie Dales, Matthew McKenney, Ozzy Ali.
Oi. Roy.
Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Calgarian Jennifer, Caroline and Amy Metcalf, and Catherine Montero. Thank you ever so much, folks. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you, one and all.
Yes. If you've ever managed to keep your mouth shut about an ongoing investigation, write in to tell us about it. We're the talkofthestreet@gmail.com, and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky, or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in this month's classics we're talking about episode 2790. Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast at ko-fi.com, the Talk of the Street, or patreon.com/the Talk of the Street. Check out voggle.co.uk for links to our merch store, YouTube channel and blog. And if you're so inclined, please leave a rating and a review on the iTunes or your podcast provider of choice. And be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Your hard habit to break.
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
Talk of the Street.
Talk of the Street.
Bye.
Cheerio.